Geek Out! Pinkies up, lads. Time for another Geek Out Book Club. I'm Sam.
I'm Jake.
And this week we'll be talking about Black Jack Ketchum by Image Comics, by Brian Schirmer, illustrated by Claudia Balboni, with Jeremy Saliba on cover art, and I think he's editing this as well. Comes out everywhere, or comic shops everywhere in Comixology on June 8th, which is a Wednesday, and comes out in bookstores on June 14th, because they always get it a little later. I feel like that's kind of a bone that all the comics do to the direct market. But anyway, so this collects the 4-issue miniseries. What'd you think of it?
I am immediately interested in anything that's Western oriented, and the covers do a really good job of grabbing you with that. And it's not your average Western, that's for sure.
Not at all. Yeah, I remember like looking at the preview art, and I was just like, "Oh, cool, a Western book." It's like, "Oh, cool, Jonah Hex."
Yeah, same thing. I was like, "Cool, just like a good old Western," and it definitely has the elements in there. It uses that as kind of the template. But you get like, for example, like the Dusters, which like as soon as you meet them, you're like, "Oh, this is different."
Yeah. I don't remember these.
I don't remember these in the Clint Eastwood films. But those guys are really cool.
Yeah,
I like them. And you get a talking gun, which is always cool.
You get kind of dimensional hopping.
Yeah.
Universe.
Yeah, and again, like we're saying all this, and keep in mind it's set in a Western.
Yeah, and this isn't like a spoiler for the 4 issues, because by the first issue,
first issue, yeah,
Dusters show up, and like he's
dimension hopping, talking guns.
I will say something to keep in mind if you're reading this book. The main character, he's suffering his own like identity crisis. He's going kind of nuts because of all the just weird shit that's happening.
Yeah, demon trains and whatnot.
So you got to keep that in mind to really be able to follow the book.
Yeah.
If you're just like, oh, I just want to learn about the adventures of like Jonah Hex, you're not going to get the adventures of Jonah Hex. You're going to get this weird kind of like weird Western.
Yeah, very weird Western. I like the page layouts a lot when they do like the dimension hopping things. The way they deal with kind of the character dealing with that identity crisis as well. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's anything that kind of taps into that Western vibe. I'm in.
Yeah, and it definitely it's gorgeous. You got Claudia Balboni on art. She's got because she had been doing Star Trek books for IDW before this.
Okay. And
so it's really cool to see her kind of go a completely different route.
Yeah.
And do kind of this Western, though still like very heavy on the sci-fi elements. Though they don't feel that intrusive, really.
No, and like we're saying, if you haven't figured out, like there's kind of something for everybody in this. It's not too hard to find. And like it's like Sam was saying, seriously, the first issue gives you a good vibe of what you're going to get the rest of those three other issues.
And they have these like 1-page like descriptions or like for each introductions for each issue. Read those.
Yeah.
Like, please God, read those, because they are integral to the plot, and they really flesh out that world and kind of who you're dealing with as a character. Because again, this isn't your standard Western. You need to kind of go in with both eyes open in order to be able to really follow along. But once you do, it's a hell of a ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, again, in comic shops and on Comixology on Wednesday, June 8th, in bookstores on the June 14th. So yeah, definitely check out Black Jack Ketchum. This has been another Geek Out Book Club. I'm Sam.
I'm Jake.
Keep reading. This has been another Geek Out production. If you enjoyed what you heard, hey, we've got a new commentary every Monday. We've got a special episode every Friday. Of course, there's the usual catching up show every Wednesday. And you get book club episodes just about every Tuesday these days. Thanks for listening.